Hello, how are you? I'm Pia and welcome to the start of a reading vlog. This week is kind of a mess because as you know, probably, I typically do weekly reading vlogs, but today is more of like a daily reading vlog because I only have one book to talk about. That is Anne's House of Dreams. Didn't know which one this was. If you didn't know, I'm reading an Anne book every single freaking month and I end up doing it at the last moment possible. And I mean, I do have like a fun day planned, so I feel like I'll just bring you along, get some clippity clips, some b-roll, and we can talk about this book. I am going to be including spoilers in this video, so if you want to come back, read the thing. It's kind of like supposed to be a book club, but like we're in a different tax bracket. Okay, so where we left off with Anne, she was having her Wendy Poplar moment. She was meeting all these fucking boring ass people and we just had like a lovely filler book, which like who doesn't love that? And it was fucking long. This one's a lot shorter, which I appreciate. And I believe, correct me if I'm motherfucking wrong, but I think that she's gonna marry Gilbert in this book. That's my prediction because it's called Anne's House of Dreams. She's like building her house of dreams with Senor Gilbert. He's finally a doctor. She finally lived her best life in Wendy Poplar's. Like she was a teacher for a moment. Anne Gary, she's a baby. Anne of Avonlea, she's like a 16-year-old teacher. Anne of the Island, school? I'm having an existential crisis. Anne of the Island is college. Anne of Wendy Poplar's. What the fuck is she doing in Anne of Wendy Poplar? See, I thought I would understand. She's teaching. I'm always confused because it's like one book she's teaching, one book she's being taught. So it's confusing. Anywho, she's done with all that shenanigans and she is ready to marry her the love of her fucking life. Do I see any characters we know of? No. Obviously we got new neighbors, so we have to get 100 more characters. See, Ellen Montgomery writes a fucking baller character. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, but I just don't want more. Do I want more? I keep reading, so maybe I do. I hope you loved her little That's What You Missed on Glee. Today I am going thrifting with my friend. And I do have a class in like 45 minutes. Audiobook out from my library. Let's just see how long it is. Okay, it's 8 hours and 55 minutes, which means it's less than 3 hours for me. Yeah, I do usually listen on 3.5 times speed on Hoopla. Listen, I don't want us to all have like a argument about what speed to listen to your audiobooks on. This is what I do. So yeah, first I'm gonna read along because I do like annotating. Here's my annotation pouch. Ooh, wait, let's pick out my bookmark. Here's my annotation pouch. I have no idea where I got it, but I would actually love to make like things like this. If you didn't know, I have an Etsy shop, which is why we're gonna pull out a fucking cute ass bookmark. Should we go with The Book Was Better, Sassy Face, or Strange the Dreamer one? I'm kind of feeling the Strange the Dreamer one. These are both available on my website. I think I'm gonna come out with some pouches. What do we think? These are the little annotation thingies I'm going to be using. No. Why do I have the Phantom of the Opera stuck in my head? I feel like the randomest shit stuck in my head sometimes. Are they gonna get a dog? Guys, there's a dog. Can you wait? Hold on. There's a dog. Friends, I just got back from class and eating lunch. I made a little wrap. I hope you hear the birds chirping because it's kind of nice. I like it. Look at my closet's open again. I'm sorry if you don't like looking at my closet. I'm sitting down to do some reading and start this bad boy. Start reading this. I'm not sure how far I will get through it before I go out because I don't know when I'm leaving. So. She had to do was mention Matthew and tears. Guys, I could start fucking, I am crying. 6 pages in. This is preposterous. Matthew will never see Anne walk down the aisle. And it's making me really fucking sad. Dude. got back from watching the first episode of Moon Knight with my friend Hannah after having our big day out, holding my lens cap. Okay, and obviously we went shopping. Well, I went to go thrift shopping because I love thrift shopping, but I only got 2 things and I already threw them in the wash, so. But I did get some books because this is a booktube channel and I got them for such a good price. Like, a paperback was $2, and a hardback $4, and I got a discount, so I got $4. I'm gonna share them with you and then we will get on to do some reading because it is 9:30 at night. So this is my stack. Beautiful. So I got A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. I don't know if I bought a mass market paperback romance, but I did read Alyssa Cole's mystery this past month and I didn't love it, but I have heard really great things about her romance, so I'm very excited to try it out. This is the first book. I know it's a companion series, but it's the first book, and I believe it's about a young woman who receives like an email that's basically like, I am this prince from wherever and I'm gonna marry you, and it like literally seems like spam, but it's actually real. I don't know, I really like reading romance and I watch a lot of romance booktubers and I really would love to read some more. I haven't read romance in a while too. I got Poison Perfect Laura Jean. I owned the first 2 Laura Jean books, but I didn't own the 3rd one, I think. I know there's one I don't own. I think it's this one. Watch me have bought the wrong one. I've read all 3, but I didn't have this book. Yes, I'm a genius. Okay, so yeah, I didn't have this book. I do think this is a really nice and like a sweet contemporary YA series. I mean, especially this 3rd one, it kind of took me by surprise. But yeah, so I wanted to own all 3 of them. And then I got Frederick Bachman's Anxious People. This is literally in perfect condition. Like legitimate, like, and I got this for $2. I'm gonna be reading this very soon for a video I'm doing next month, I think. I have just been planning my videos earlier today, so I think I'll be reading this for a secret DVR, but this is your preview. I have never read a Frederick Bachman. I've heard there are kind of, you know, some hits and some misses, but I literally haven't heard of like every single one of his titles, so I did pick this up. They did have Beartown, but it was like mass market and it wasn't very cute. So, and I've been recommended this before, and obviously I'm going to be reading it for a video, so I'm very excited. And then we have the most on-brand thing I could have bought for this video during this time. I got Anne of Green Gables. Yes, am I reading the fifth Anne of Green Gables in this vlog? Yes, I am. And did I buy the first one? When I have so many copies of this, but it is so gorgeous. Like, so, like, the scene in the boat, oh my god. But I also love that we have like Diana on the cover too with Anne. I've never seen this cover, ever. And this is actually an edition that was, oh my god, it's so beautiful and old, I love it. This was printed. So it says copyright 1988, so that's when I thought it was printed, but it says this 2001 edition. It might be 2001. Either way, it's good. It is crispy. It is yellowed. It has deckled edges. It's also so odd how they spaced it. Like the chapters start sometimes at the bottom, like they didn't space it. And we all know I collect editions of Anne. Like, I don't know what else we can say. Yeah, I don't know. I was so excited to see this. I literally gasped. This is what happens to me. I get too excited, but I had to buy it. I had to buy it. Again, it was like $3. In Anne's House of Dreams, I am now on page 52. I'm on chapter 8. I think I'm on chapter. I never learned Roman numerals. It's still not gonna stick. It's like how I live in Canada and I don't know Celsius. I am obviously gonna read the rest of this tonight, but it's literally like 300 pages, I'm gonna say. So my favorite things so far are how flipping adorable the wedding was. It was short as so short. Like not even a few pages, but it's very sweet. I understand that this is like about them moving into their house of dreams. It's not really about their wedding, but the scene when she visits Matthew's grave, I was crying. I was crying. But I did really like this one quote that Lucy Maud put in there. Lucy Maud is the author, if you did not know. And she said, "Ain't it funny how ashamed boys are of tears?" And this is a man saying it. And I just said, like, Lucy Maud really said, toxic masculinity ruins the party again. She really, like, understood toxic masculinity and called the fuck out. She really called the fuck out. 1917? Ahead of her time. Ahead of her time. Also, like, the amount of gay characters. She just seems to have been born with a sort of chronic spite against men. I'm very excited. I've had such a great day. Today was World Bipolar Day, and that just the existence of that made me really happy, and you know, trying to further end that stigma. Bipolar person, I love that you know, initiative to do such, and I've had such a fun day out and shopping and having a good time. So all right, had to pull out another package of tabs to get the pink one. If you didn't know, pink is like my thing for stuff I love or like romance, and obviously there's a lot of stuff I love in here. So I had a feeling because there was a lot of foreshadowing in the book about her like waiting for something and like whatever, but yeah, she just like popped out a baby, and there was not a lot of stuff. Like there wasn't a lot of like a pregnancy, like they literally never explicitly mentioned it, and now she's like, and even like having the kid, Anne was safe and a wee white lady with her mother's big eyes was lying beside her. What? Her name's Joyce anyway, Joy for short, which is kind of cute. Literally Gilbert is like not in this book, which is like probably my main gripe, which I'm going to talk about later. He's not even like a secondary character. Like honestly, he's like a tertiary character. I'm like, I want more of him. Nothing was explicitly stated. Even having the kid wasn't explicitly stated, which I find so odd. Because like, I mean, Lucy Maud loves her like, she loves her like descriptive, imaginative, flowery language. But I had never thought of her as one to just fully not say what something is. I don't know, I'm confused. I mean, I'm not confused, I understand what happened, but I think I figured out why they didn't really talk about the baby that much, and it seems like she had a miscarriage and a stillbirth, which is so sad. I'm very emotional. Hello my friends. It is the next day. I have obviously finished Anne's House of Dreams. I just wanted to like update when I look cuter. So I have finished Anne's House of Dreams. I honestly annotated the heck out of this, and I was looking at Windy Poplars, which was the previous book. I think I mentioned that, and I did not annotate that nearly as much as I did this one. So I don't know what it is about this book that I really like reinvigorated my love for the stories. I mean, it's not like I have given any of them under 5 stars. I really love that. I mean, obviously she had to like kill a character, she being Lucy Maud. I always just like talk about Lucy Maud as if we're besties. So I don't know, I feel like a lot of the books since Matthew has died, he dies in the first book, who is my absolute favorite character, and I'm literally still upset all the time. Literally anytime his name is mentioned, which is not often enough for my masochistic self, I cry. I love him, he's like my favorite character. I could go on and on. But I feel like there are a lot of other characters that kind of mirror him in some ways. So in this book it is Captain Jim, and then he ends up fucking dying. So yeah, but I do really like Captain Jim's character, and ends up having another baby who is James Matthew, so he's named after both Captain Jim and Matthew, which I love, and they call him Jem, and I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, it's really interesting. At least for me, I feel like a lot of the books span like many more years than you would think, and this book, yeah, was like a few. And so this is really interesting because you're starting with going to Anne's House of Dreams. It's this house that she's building with Gilbert, who's like a tertiary character. Then you end the book with them actually leaving because they have outgrown the house, which I don't really understand how this was their House of Dreams. I guess it was like their first home, their like starter home. But it's interesting to me that it's like kind of built up in this way. You know, it's talked about for a few books that it's like she wants her House of Dreams, she wants her own home, which is lovely and a lovely concept. You know, they obviously were gonna have to leave because it's too small, and apparently she's gonna have a lot of kids. So yeah, it's very interesting how they also like bring up talking about the children, like talking about her being like pregnant, because they don't really talk about it, which I find very interesting because Ellen Montgomery does like touch on some kind of taboo topics. Like I said, she talks about like toxic masculinity. She has a lot of, obviously she was talking about like stillbirths, and she talks about politics and religion, and like she talks about a lot of like taboo things. So it's very interesting for me to read that like you really have no, I was gonna say preamble, but I don't know if that's exactly what I mean, but there's no like build up to her, to Anne having her child. There's like one page where it's like about a stork coming to visit, and that's like about it. I mean, one morning when a windy golden sunrise was billowing over the gulf in the waves of light, a certain weary stork flew over the bar of Four Winds Harbor on his way from the land of evening stars. Under his wing was tucked a sleepy, starry-eyed little creature. Like, it went on for a page about a stork. At this point, like, Anne and Gilbert are like almost 30 years old, and so I'm wondering, I started thinking about this too because I've never really thought about like the reception of these books. Obviously they're so cemented in my brain and my childhood and like my being almost. I never really thought about like what people were thinking about these books. Obviously they're very different from like, the only thing I can think about is like of a series where you're growing up with the characters like Harry Potter and like Percy Jackson, because you obviously start out with a younger character. But it is very interesting to me that this is a book with, you know, people in their like 30s, in their late 20s, in their like 60s. Like there's a lot of like older characters, and they don't talk about any sort of like, they don't talk about sex ever. That's what I mean. Not that they have to, not like, you know, whatever, but like the kind of censoring of Anne's pregnancy and those sorts of topics is kind of interesting to me to think about, especially with like an older cast of characters. I do really love Cornelia. She's one of my favorite characters. I also love Leslie. I love the twisty-turny that happens. I do kind of predict a lot of things. It's not like I'm whatever, but I honestly didn't see the fact that, was it like an identical cousin who she was actually caring for, and like her husband actually died like years and years ago. I was like, how is she gonna, how is Lucy Maud gonna get my favorite couple together? And she ended up doing it, so much. We love that. And oh, one of the other things that I think is weird, or I find, oh my god, kind of odd about I'm gonna have to stop talking soon because my knees hurt, is that like Anne doesn't really get a job. I mean, she like teaches for a long time, she goes to school for a long time, those are kind of like the last 4 books, but obviously she doesn't have a job. And in this book it was really sad for me because she obviously has had such a great love for writing, kind of gaslights herself, and like the people around her don't really help at all. I mean, sometimes they do, they're like, oh, you used to write, right? And she's like, yeah, but like it was stupid shit and like whatever. But like she sold stories like in previous books, like she made money off of her writing and she had a fun time doing it. So like I just really love to see her kind of being her own character more than just being involved in other people's lives, because she is such a great friend. I feel like is what is really solidified in all of these books, is her helping other people, and that's lovely to see. It's lovely to read about, but I would really love to see her as an individual, especially in her writing, because I think that's like one thing that really sets her apart is her storytelling. But she's not really able to do that now that she's like a wife and a homemaker, which is totally fine and awesome for her. I just feel like she has like a little bit of that, like she still wants to do something more. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. I know like the next few books there are gonna be a lot of kids and we're gonna be progressing even further into the storyline. More people are gonna die, which is so upsetting because why do people have to die all the fucking time? That's my review. That was my fun day. My legs are killing me. But I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I never do these sorts of like shorter vlogs, so if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!